Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt playing against left-handed pitching. I don't think I would trot out a lefty against the Yankees at all right now. Listen to these stats, guys. Judge, we know are going to be great stats. Judge is hitting .455 against lefties. That's second in the league. With a .581 on-base percentage. Second in the league. He's slugging 1.182 and has, get this, for WRC+, like we said, full season, the record is .244 Barry Bonds while he was on the juice. Judge against lefties alone has a .368 WRC+, which is tops in the league. By far. It's not by far, because there's a guy that I just mentioned who's right there with him. Goldschmidt is hitting, listen to this, .548 against lefties, which is best in the league by over 100 points over Judge, or just under 100 points. A .635 on-base percentage. That's almost 2/3 he's getting on base against lefties. 2/3 against the whole league. And he's slugging .952 with a .342 WRC+. Second in the league as well behind Judge. So they have 2 firsts amongst each other and 2 seconds each. They are killing left-handed pitching. Errol, I can't even think of anything similar to this.
Right now,
you got any comps?
Right now, these two guys are 2 of the best hitters in baseball, 2 MVPs. And right now, if Paul Goldschmidt was right now in the National League, he'd probably be the MVP #1 vote getter. And that's how good Paul Goldschmidt has been all season so far for the New York Yankees. For all the Yankee haters, all the people that didn't like this move bringing in Paul Goldschmidt, well, who's laughing now? This guy for the last 2 months has been one of the best hitters in baseball. He's not even hitting behind Aaron Judge. He's not even protecting him. And he's doing what he's doing right now. It's pretty incredible. I can't really say anything bad about this. And Aaron Judge is on a tear right now. I don't think we're going to see a player do this for the next 20 years. And if Aaron Judge can continue doing what he's doing with Goldschmidt, I mean, you can argue. You can argue that these guys are going to be fighting 1 and 2 for the American League MVP.
Judge isn't going to hit close to 400 all year. I don't know what makes you think that's going to happen.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it doesn't matter. If he hits 359, it's still a great
season. Neither will Paul Goldschmidt. I love the Yankees, but I'm a realist and understand I love the start that this is, but people have plans of grandeur that they're going to keep this up all year. Paul Goldschmidt hasn't had a great year in how many years? Tell me. Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. We get it. But to think this is realistic for them to be – there's going to be one person in the AL MVP race at the end, and it's Aaron Judge. Like, we know that. If Paul Goldschmidt was in the NL right now, he would have a huge argument with Pete Crow Armstrong. So it's one of those things where each year changes, and guys have great years. You saw a Bobby Witt year last year, where if Aaron Judge didn't have that year, he's probably in the conversation of Frankie Lindor in the NL with the Ohtani year. So you're going to have 2 players for the next 5 to 8 years that are going to be in the conversation every year. If somebody overtakes them, then that's the only conversation we're going to have. Because those guys for the next 5 to 8. And now if you get Ohtani coming back and he pitches, get you 8 to 12 wins a year, we're not even having conversations. We're not. Because he's still going to hit you 280 and 40.
By the way, if Goldschmidt right now was in the National League, he'd be the MVP. If right now, I know you keep saying Pete Crow Armstrong. If you look at his numbers, 222 at-bats, 61 hits, 15 home runs, batting .275. If you go to Paul Goldschmidt, 202 at-bats, 70 hits, 5 home runs, and batting .347. I'm going with Paul Goldschmidt.
With no numbers, and he's – Pete Crow Armstrong has a 3.2 WAR.
Paul Goldschmidt is a bona fide 30. How old is he? 38 years old. He's batting .347.
I don't give a shit. He's playing. Age is just a number. I don't care.
I'm taking Paul Goldschmidt right now. Paul Goldschmidt's hitting .347.
I'm taking for the long haul right now. Pete Crow Armstrong.
I'm talking about this year.
Guess who has a better year? You want to make a bet right now?
I'm talking about this year. Right now. I'm talking about right now.
I'm talking about right
now.
Over the whole year.
I'm talking about right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Over the whole year. Who has a better year over the whole year?
He's a young kid. This guy is the 30.
What does that
37
matter?
Because right now he's batting 347. If the season were to end, Paul Goldschmidt and Ohtani are fighting to win that NL MVP.
Season. If you know so much about it, why wouldn't you take Paul Goldschmidt to have a better year than Pete Crow Armstrong that I'm saying?
Because Paul Goldschmidt is 38 years old. That's why. And he's going to get tired. He might get hurt. That's why. If he was
Pete Crow Armstrong might get hit in the
Paul
hand
Goldschmidt
too,
is a Hall of Famer. Pete Crow
Goldschmidt
Armstrong
is not a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of
Get
Famer.
out of here.
He's a Hall
No
of Famer.
chance.
He's a Hall of Famer.
No
He's
shot.
a Hall of Famer. Absolutely.
No
Absolutely a Hall of Famer.
No.
Absolutely.
I love him, but there's no chance.
Absolutely a Hall of Famer.
How or why?
I'm looking at his numbers right now. You can't tell me that he's not.
All right, so here's Goldschmidt's career stats. 290 career batting average, 2,126 hits, 64.3 career WAR. That's actually pretty high. We got 1,241 runs,
homers,
1,214 RBIs, 173 stolen bases. He was a sneaky stolen base guy early in his career.
Yeah.
382 career on base percentage, 510 slugging, so just under 900 career OPS. And a 139 OPS plus. I don't know. That's a little fringy. Speedy, why don't you tell me what's usually the cutoff with some of those key statistics for Hall of Fame?
Well, I think every metric is going to be different when it comes to what.
It's a different time now.
What prioritizes the Hall of Fame? I like it for the fact of like a first baseman being able to steal bases like that. I think is something that's very rare. Just like you see like a catcher like somebody like Joe Mauer that hit for so many batting average, and Buster Posey when he'll go into the Hall of Fame eventually down the road in a couple of years. Like I think something that unique at a position should give him that kind of extra leverage. Yeah, maybe the fringe home run numbers. I get what you're coming with that, Fish. I would still
doesn't matter anymore.
I would put him in personally. I think it is close, but
he won MVPs. I mean, this guy was the best player.
He won MVPs, Gold Gloves, right?
Right.
Gold Gloves are the stupidest, most overrated thing in the world. Rafael Palmeiro won a Gold Glove at first place, played 12 games. Like, get out of here.
And they don't count my favorite award when I was a kid, the Rolaids Relief Award. That was my favorite.
Does Rolaids even exist anymore?
I don't know if they do, but
I think Tums might have taken over.
Big Tums bought out the award ceremony, I guess, for relief pitchers. Chris Sale is the fastest to reach 2,500 strikeouts.
He did it like 80 some games faster than Randy Johnson.
That's pretty impressive. Let's take a Speedy. Are Sale's stats good enough for talking Hall if he keeps this up for a couple of years?
He should be on paper. Just the injuries are going to hold him back probably just because he didn't get enough innings or enough.
That's not going to make. That's not going to make.
I don't think it should make a difference, but you never know with the baseball.
Baseball with pitching now, they are looking at completely different statistics. If this guy is consistent and he's depending on the innings and the strikeouts and the way he is doing it throughout the time that he is on the mound, which he's averaging closer to 8 or 9 strikeouts a game. I mean, he is defined.
Yeah, he's right near 2,500 strikeouts. Yeah, I think that's a Hall of Famer.
No, he's over 2,500.
Yeah, he just broke it.
He just broke it.
Yeah, he just broke it.
So
he's
definitely a Hall of Famer. 100%. I mean, this guy was out a significant amount of time.
Let me give you his numbers. So he's at 2,492 strikeouts. He's got a career 1.051 WHIP and a 3.05 ERA. He's actually not having a great year so far. He's got a 3.36 ERA and a 1.28
Ooh,
WHIP.
that's bad.
No, the WHIP is out of character for him. So he's been allowing a lot more base runners than normal. That usually says something's going on.
Strikeouts per 9 innings, still 11.4.
Physically, just... You know what I mean? So that's just out of character for him. He's not that type of pitcher.
But I see what exactly, Speedy, you're saying on the other side. In Errol, I can kind of agree and disagree. He's played 15 years and he only has 140 wins. But he has one of the best records as the most prolific strikeout pitcher
JACOB DeGrom.
In the amount of time.
So he didn't really play for 3 years.
Yeah. He came up as a reliever with the White Sox from Florida Gulf Coast.
Yep. He was because they thought his motion was so funky that he was going to get hurt. He was one of those guys. When I was a kid, it was always, Kevin Appier had like the weirdest motion,
Kansas
and they
City.
said that he was going to get hurt, and then he didn't get hurt until like his 17th year in the league or something like that. And Sale has another one of those guys. His motion is really cool to watch, and it took a long time for him to get hurt. He did get hurt. Before he got hurt, he was an All-Star 7 years in a row. He was Cy Young top 5 voting 6 years in a row. He had some MVP votes in those years. And, as you know, he had the Cy Young Award 2 years ago, last year, right? So he is still a great player. So he's gotten some of the recognitions. He has compiling stats. How many more years at 140 wins, just passing 2,500 strikeouts now? How many does he need to get?
I don't. I do think he's a Hall of Famer. When you look at the
say
numbers,
he gets to 2,750 in strikeouts, like say
how
the rest
old
of this
is he?
year and next year.
How old is he?
He should if he stays healthy.
He is 36.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think he's going to pitch at least another 2 years. I'm gonna agree that he's going to get closer to 2,700 strikeouts. To me, being out this significant amount of time and then coming back and keep throwing and doing the things that he's doing right now in the league, I think it's very impressive. You
brought up Jacob DeGrom too. It's kind of the same
situation. It's the same thing. And Jacob DeGrom, if Jacob DeGrom retired today, I think you can argue that he's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
no.
Yeah. I mean, with the way the game is now and the way they're voting these guys in now, I really do believe that Jacob DeGrom eventually is going to be a Hall of Famer. Who's been better than Jacob DeGrom when he's at the top of his game?
He's got a 2.52 ERA. His strikeouts are only 17.28 compared to Sale's 2,500, like you were saying. But his WHIP for his career is 9.993, and his ERA plus 1.56. So still very good.
Sale's numbers are better than DeGrom's, and
they're both
DeGrom
going
is
to the
a year-
Hall of
is
Fame.
a year older than Sale.
They
are
going.
not.
I believe
They're
it.
not.
I believe it.
DeGrom is going to have to pitch into his 40s to be in the Hall of Fame, I think. But it's not that wasn't one of the greatest pitchers of his era. You have to say that too. He's
going to be in his era, but DeGrom's not going to stay healthy.
Kind of like a Mattingly situation with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where elite player for a good chunk
that
of
short
time.
amount of time. Yeah,
good like short to medium amount of time, and then just couldn't keep it together. But he's pitching very well this year, so hopefully he can regain his form and do it for a little while, and then not go in as a Met.
It's all been the Hall of Average lately, anyways.